Oh,
is
you start
important.
recording right before I answer. No, I like them very much, but it's just that they live in Alaska. So
Yeah. The time's a little bit different there. Well, hey, congratulations to her.
thank you.
Congratulations to you. That's awesome. Very cool. Ron Holmes, what do you got this morning, buddy?
I don't know how much time you got, but I'm going to share it. So, I started a brand new series, our Easter series in Rotan, Texas, and I called into the national uh, sports radio show, Marty and McGee, which is um, Marty Smith, Ryan McGee. I called in on the radio and asked for permission. They end their show every Saturday with hillbilly headlines. And so
Well, you are coming in from Rotan, Texas. I don't know if y'all know that's a place. That's a real place, you guys. Okay.
And so I call in and ask for permission to use Hillbilly Headlines as the title of my sermon series. And basically from 7:45 until they ended the show, they were talking about holy hillbilly headlines throughout the rest of the show. It was awesome. And so the whole premises is they have stuff like drunk raccoon resuscitated by human as a hillbilly headline. Well, that actually happened. Well, for me, our biggest headline that some people don't believe in is Jesus being resurrected. And
Yeah, yeah,
so, and so anyway, hillbilly headlines started yesterday with Lazarus, and needless to say, Rotan, Texas was talked about national radio yesterday for about an hour and a half.
that's what I'm talking about. Hey, that may be the first time in history Rotan, Texas has ever been talked about nationally. I think this is the first time we've ever talked about it on a national call. And if y'all want to know where this accent I have comes from and that accent that Ryan Holmes comes from, it comes from an area around Rotan, Texas. So if you're not from Abilene, you probably don't know where it's from. Bro, that's so incredible. That's awesome. Sherry Hendrick, cousin Sherry said they spent the night with their son and daughter's first Airbnb. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I like it. Share so okay, what is this Justin? Who is
It's
this?
Justin and Courtney, and it's close to Round Top outside of Brenham. So
Come
the
on now.
antique show starts March 7th, and their first rental checks in Thursday night. Fun times.
Come on. How cool is that? Come on. Y'all give my cousin Justin a big hand for having his first Airbnb out there. Come on now. Very good. Anybody else this morning? Anybody else this morning?
I want to share with you that we've added a new program for our website with Lofty, and I'm beginning to understand it.
Juan, I feel every bit of that, man. I'm beginning to understand it. Hey, congratulations, buddy, on taking that step forward. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. How many of you beginning to understand some stuff? Anybody? How many of you still have a long way to go in understanding some stuff? Yeah, come on in. Jeremy put up both hands right there. Jeremy put up both hands. All right. Anybody else this morning before I jump in? Okay, well, hey, talking about understanding stuff, you guys do such a great job of helping me lead right into my call. The main thing I want to talk to us about understanding today is I want us to talk about understanding you. All right. Here's what I know. I think that we're in an industry where we may be posting like we're crushing it out there on Facebook and Instagram, and the world looks beautiful and everything's in order, and yet on the inside we may be a little bit unsure. Is that anybody? Do you have moments of unsure? Okay. We typically don't post that out on the internet. You know what I mean? We typically don't get up on Monday morning and go, hey, just real unsure about what I'm doing today or my purpose or where I'm going. But I want to talk to us about that today, okay? We may be out there acting confident, saying the right things, looking busy. If you've ever been on a call with me or in a room with me, you know what I think about being busy, and that is the goal is not to be busy. All right. The goal is to be productive. The goal is to be intentional. The goal is to be purposeful and understand there's a lot more to it than just being busy. Okay. Very clearly, I will say to you, I know a lot of busy people that are really broke. Okay. And I don't just mean broke financially, I mean broke as people. Okay. And they're masking it with busyness. All right. So here's what I want to talk to us about today. I want to make sure that we lean into the fact that it doesn't matter what we do if we don't understand who we're becoming. All right? And if you'll write this down before we even get started today, the number one thing I want you to take away from today's call is this: there is beauty in becoming. All right? So, what that means is there's beauty in the middle of the mess that you may be in right now. Okay? One, there's beauty in the, hey, we've got this out there now, and I'm starting to understand it. Okay. I don't know each and every single one of you on the call, but I do know this. Each and every single one of us have gone through some stuff, and we're going to go through some more stuff. And I want to make sure that we all understand that all of that stuff, the highs, the lows, the tough days, all of those things are what create in us the becoming of who we are. Are you with me on this? All right. And I've said this on a call before, but I don't know if you got, does music stir your soul? How many of you music stirs you a little bit when you hear, you know what I'm talking about? How many of you have a song from like 1985 that if it were to play right now, you just break out and do your little 1985 dance? Okay. You can if you want to. It's okay. This is a free call. You can do that. Keith said, no, I'm not doing it. All right. Here's why music stirs your soul though, okay? It stirs your soul because it has high notes and low notes, both. It also has this thing called rest. Did you know that? In music, there's a thing called rest. If there's ever an industry on the planet where I see people who don't choose rest, it would be the real estate industry. Okay? We actually pride ourselves on being exhausted and pride ourselves on working so hard. I can't tell you how many agents I've heard say, man, I'm working like crazy, man. I was up till midnight last night. And I'm thinking, why? Why in the world are you doing that? Okay? Like, go to bed. All right? Get rest so that you can get up the next day and perform at your highest level. But it's the high notes and the low notes that create this awesome thing that we call music. All right? It has to have both of them. So my point is this: you may be on this call today on a high note. It may be the best day you've had. You may be in the best season of your life. Everything you touch right now may be turned into gold. And man, I want to high five you, celebrate you. Keep doing what you're doing well. Keep growing. But you may be the polar opposite today, and you may be at the lowest point of your life today. You with me? You may be at a point where you don't even have you ever had a moment where you felt like the floor just dropped out from under you, and the foundation that you thought you had you can't even see anymore? Anybody ever had that moment? Okay. Here's what I want you to know. If that's you, all right, don't quit. You're becoming. Okay. John Maxwell, who's like the leadership coach of the entire planet, talks about that what we're doing in those moments, okay, is we're being molded, we're being crafted. It's creating in us who we are. And let me tell you why people do business with you. Are you ready? They do business with you because of who you are. That's it. And you may be like, no, coach, it's because of what I do. No, it's because of who you are. Because what you do is a byproduct of who you are. Are you tracking with me on this? All right. So it comes down to who are you choosing to become? And then that out of that is where our business flows. All right. So I want to talk to us today about what that looks like. All right. So I'm going to give you an acronym because it's the best way that I can think and lay this out for you. All right. So I just want you to write down the word become, B.E.C.O.M.E, become. And we're going to talk about that the beauty, Jeremy, you nailed it. Beauty is in the process of progress. It is not about perfection. Okay. So for all my perfectionists on the screen right now, I'm one of you. I just want to tell you something. You're never going to get it all done. Okay. You're welcome. I love you. I'll be here all day. All right. And it's never going to be perfect. All right. The goal is that we continue to tweak the process and we continue to track the progress so we keep getting better each and every single day. Okay. All right. So here's what I want you to do today. First of all, the B is this. It stands for build the person. Build the person. One of the key things that we focus on in training and coaching is understanding that this is Everybody I get on a call with starts to talk to me about their business. And I immediately stop them and go, hey, I want to talk about your business, but I want to talk about you first. All right? Because your business is a byproduct of who you are. You with me? So I want you to ask yourself this question today. What am I doing to build me? What am I doing to build my mind and to build my heart and to build my skills? And like, how are you building you? All right. Instead of asking, how do I go get more deals? I want you to ask, who do I need to become to create more deals? Right? Instead of asking, how do I grow this big business? I want you to ask, who do I need to become in order to grow the business that I desire to grow? All right. We get it backwards. We think that we grow as our business grows, and actually your business grows as you grow. All right. So the B is build the person. All right. I want to give you some thoughts of where we need to build more. You ready? Some of these are going to hurt. You're welcome. I think we need to build more patience. Everybody write that down. Come on now. I think we need to build more skill. Okay, everybody hear me. For all of you in the real estate industry, we are in a skill-based business. Does everybody understand that? The people who are going to win in the next 12 months are not the people who've been doing it the longest. It's the people who are the most prepared and build the most skill. That's who's going to win. I think new agents are going to run right past some seasoned agents. Would you agree with me on that? Okay. What it comes down to input and output. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So my question is, what are you building in so that you can build out? I think we need to build ourselves to be more emotionally stable. How about that? Hey, do you think you're going to operate a better business at a higher level if your emotions are in alignment? If you're able to understand them and operate in them? You guys with me on this? Okay. I think we need to build better communication. Come on now. Hey, if we are in any business, regardless of the business you're in, even if you're not in the real estate business today, can I tell you the number one business you're in? I don't care what it is, you're in the communication business. My boy Ryan Holmes does electricity for a living. It's the communication business. It's why they hired him. I've known this dude for like 30 years. Brother didn't know anything about electricity, okay? They didn't hire him for his electricity knowledge. They hired him for his ability to communicate. If you want to win in 2026, you're going to have to build your level of communication. Be a person that communicates at the highest level. The clearer you communicate, the more business you do, the more opportunity you create. Okay? And yeah, Keith, the B is just build the person. We're talking about how do we build the person. The other thing is you need to build to be a strong negotiator. You need to build to be a strong negotiator. Okay? We are in a sales business, yes or no? All right? So we have to be able to negotiate at a high level. How do we do that? We prepare to be able to do it. All right? What I'm talking to you about here is I'm talking to you about identity over image. Build the person first. All right? Build the person first. I love it. Holmes said, be able to communicate in different forms. Hey, when we talk about communication, I want you to think how many different people you come in contact with in business on a daily basis. Do you think the same way of communication is always the best way? Okay, we have to have multiple levels of communication. Did you know some people will not answer their phone? They want to be communicated with by text. All right. Did you know some people ask a lot of questions? Hello. All right. So we've got to make sure that we work on this. And Ernest, you are spot on. The hesitation of communication is what holds most agents back. Okay. How do we get better at communicating? All right, everybody write this down. Confidence comes from competence. I cannot effectively and confidently communicate if I don't have the competence behind what I'm saying. All right? All right, here's the E. You ready? Eliminate the act. Okay? Can I tell you a phrase that I just don't like? I'm just being honest with you. You said this phrase, I have no judgment towards you because I actually have said it before too. All right? I don't like the phrase fake it till you make it. I just don't like it. All right? I don't think people want us to fake it till we make it. When we're dealing with people's lives, do you think they want us to fake it till we make it? Anybody? Okay. We need to eliminate the act. Here's my question to you today. What are you pretending? What are you pretending to be? Who are you pretending to be that you actually aren't? Can I tell you one thing about people too? They will sniff you out. All right. If you are putting on an act, okay. For instance, if you choose to act humble, but you are not humble, they will sniff you out. If you choose to act confident and you are not confident, they will sniff you out. Are you guys with me on this? All right. Are you pretending to be consistent? There's a great question for you today. All right. Are you pretending that you're okay with average? And here's a great question for you to ask yourself. Are you pretending that you don't need help? Here's what I know. There are 81 of us on this call right now, which means there are 81 of us that need help. And if you disagree with that statement, you really need help. Okay. You with me on this? Like every one of us have levels in our personal lives, in our spiritual life, in our business, whatever it is. We all have levels. Somebody just dropped off the call when I said that. Maybe I upset somebody. I don't know. Okay. But we all have levels that we need help, right? So where are we pretending that we don't need help? It is when you raise your hand and ask for help, it's a sign of maturity, not weakness. Okay. All right. Growth begins when the act ends. All right. This is where you get really honest. Okay. Here's the C. You choose growth over optics. Choose growth over optics. Your optics will not grow your business. Your optics will not grow your opportunities. Now, I'm not saying don't be out there in front of people. I'm saying make sure that growth is the number one key. Optics equals looking good. Okay. Growth means being good. There's a difference. All right. I said earlier, image and identity. The difference between image and identity is image fades. Image is a look. Okay. Identity matures. Identity roots. Identity grows. And I want you to make sure that you're operating out of identity. Okay. Out of identity. All right. Optics say I need to be busy. I need to look busy. Okay. Growth says I need to be better. I need to be better. Take a look today at your business, at your life, and go, hey, where is it that I'm masking being better by being busy? All right. Growth comes in. Hey, what does it look like for me to be better? Let me ask you a couple questions. That's right, Jeremy, 1% better every day. One of the things I always coach you guys to is 1 degree, right? Can we get 1 degree better today in each one of these areas? All right. We're not going to fix it all at once, but can we get 1 degree better today? All right. One of the guys on a call that I'm on Friday, the Purpose Driven Life call, if you're not on that, you still can be. But one of the guys came on and he said that in his life, he always looks for a wise sage, somebody who's gone before him, somebody who he can look at this person's life and see the fruit that he wants in his own. So if you and I are going to grow, you with me? We got to find those wise people out there and go, hey, how do I get better? What does this look like for me? And ask ourselves some questions. What are you avoiding because it's painful? What am I avoiding because it's painful? Here's what I'll tell you. The best growth you'll ever have in your life is leaning into the things that are painful. All right. What feedback am I resisting? Here's one thing I've learned when you give people feedback is when you give people feedback that's hard to swallow, humble people accept it and make changes. Arrogant people just pretend like you didn't say it. Okay. It comes down to who are you choosing to become? Where am I protecting my ego instead of growing? Where am I protecting my ego instead of growing. You with me? All right, here's the O. Here's the O. Own the gap. Own the gap. Let me ask you this. How many of you are off goal right now? If you look at your overall year goal, put your hands up. Come on, don't be afraid. Okay, here's what I want every one of you to do. I want you to take time today to own the gap. Take a look at why we're not where we desire to be or where we could be or where we should be. Identify it, own the gap, and then ask yourself, where does the gap come from? Is it a lack of training? Is it a lack of knowledge? Is it a lack of being consistent, right? What is it? Okay. Um, uh, uh, the C team was choose growth over optics. Okay. But we've got to own the gap. Are you guys with me on this? Here's what I can tell you. There is always a gap between where we are and where we actually want to be. Would you agree with that? Even if you're on goal today, there's still a gap between where you want to go, right? All right, I want to help you real quick to bridge the gap. Here's how we bridge the gap. Are you ready? First thing, the way we move from where we are to where we want to be and we bridge the gap is we actually understand, okay, that we've got to do what we know needs to be done, even though we don't feel like that we actually want to do it. Okay, with me? All right. Here's what I know. You know what to do. You're just not doing it. 9 times out of 10, you know what to do. You're just not doing it. All right. Like, it's not like I'm telling you anything today where you're like, oh, that was amazing. I've never heard that before. Like, you already know. You already know what to do. We're just not doing it. Okay. So you got to be obedient to what you know. And here's what I can promise you. When you own the gap and you fill the gap, when you do something long enough to get a result, it will embolden you to go do it again. Okay? One of the reasons we don't fill the gap is we never take the time to actually go fill the gap. Okay? So we've got to put the time in to go fill the gap. The gap isn't anything you should be ashamed of. The gap is just instructional. It just gives us the playbook. Okay? All right. I've asked this question before, but I'll ask it again. When you look at the gap, ask yourself this question. What's one thing I can do today that would radically bridge that gap? What's one thing right now, today, in the next 24 hours that I could put into play that's going to start to radically bridge the gap? And we have to own the gap. All right. Take personal ownership. Let me tell you what personal ownership looks like. It looks like putting your hand up and saying, I take responsibility for where I'm at, how I got here, and how I'm going to get out. That's ownership. Okay? I take responsibility for where I'm at, how I got here, and how I'm going to get out. Not, hey, if these people would do these things, it would help me in my gap. Okay? Your gap is your responsibility, nobody else's responsibility. I'm talking about that in your life or your business or whatever it is. The gap is yours to own, okay? Here's the M. Make small daily improvements. It goes back to what Jeremy said earlier of 1% better. Just make small daily improvements, all right? Like, what's one step I can take forward that's going to move that's going to move the needle, okay? So this isn't how do I overhaul this whole thing, all right? That's not the goal, all right? How do I reinvent everything? That's not the goal. Okay. The goal is that I take small steps that are going to move me forward. So identify today the small steps you need to take that are going to move you forward. All right. How do I have one better conversation or one more conversation? How do I have one more better follow-up? How do I have one more better script? How do I put one more system in play that I know we need to put in play? How do we make the one step that's going to take us forward? Okay, what happens when you do this is you start to compound your identity, not just activity. Okay, you start to compound your identity. And when you compound your identity, I can tell you this, you're going to sell a lot more houses. Okay, your revenue is going to go up when you start to make sure that you compound your identity. People are doing business with you and the standards that you uphold. Okay. And then here's the E. Expect delays. I'm really sorry that that's the last one I'm giving you, but I just got to be honest with you. Okay. You got to expect delays. Okay. Most things don't happen in the time frame that we think that they should happen or that we would want them to happen. All right. There's delays. Okay. I coached you on this last week, but I want you to remember this. The scoreboard that you're looking at is a lag. The scoreboard lags. It doesn't give me it's not giving me my results yet. How many of you get a little frustrated when you look at the scoreboard today? Right? And you recognize, man, I'm not where I want to be. Here's what I want to tell you. It's not about the scoreboard. The scoreboard is going to be delayed. It's about the process that leads to the scoreboard. Okay? The process, the progress, the systems, the you becoming, that's the lead measure. That's the lead indicator. Okay? The scoreboard is the lag indicator. You with me? The scoreboard is the lag indicator. All right. So, here's what I'll tell you too. When you are in the process of becoming, nobody claps for you in the beginning. Okay? They just don't. Applause comes later. All right? The process of becoming, the beauty of becoming takes time. All right? It takes pain. It takes chiseling. It takes a whole lot to get to where it is that you desire to be. Okay? Let me tell you the things that nobody sees in the beauty of becoming. Nobody sees the time that you put in. They just don't see it. Are you with me? Like they just see your blurb on Facebook. That's all they see. They don't know everything that's behind that. All right? I remember when I wanted to become a bold coach, I went up to John Prescott. I said, John Prescott, I cannot wait to become a bold coach. He said, that's great, Dusty. He said, are you willing to do what it takes to actually do that? That was his question. Because he was saying, what you see in this room, like you see this guy standing on stage and there's 200 people in a room, he gets to help. He said, what you don't see is the years that this guy put in to become that level of a person. All right? They don't see that. They don't see the discipline. They don't see the reading. They don't see the mindset work. They don't see the internal growth. Hey, they don't see the pain. Right? How many of you have gone through some pain that you never put on Facebook or Instagram? How many of you gone through some right now? The beauty of becoming. Okay? I want you to remember it's the high notes and low notes that lead us everywhere that we go. Okay? Everywhere that we go. Did I just say something Taylor Swift said? Is that what you said, Aaron?
Yeah, in her little like pre-concert thing. It's on the show that's on the Disney Channel. She talks about the process of becoming, and no one celebrates all the hard work they had to do. You just Taylor Swifted.
Yeah,
I
hey,
think she
y'all,
stole that from Dusty.
I think so too. I think Aaron, she jumped on a call at some point. It was like, I'm using that. All right. But I'm also okay. If y'all want to say that I quoted Taylor Swift, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I think she's done okay. All right. Hey, seriously, like look at the becoming there. Okay. All right. You guys tracking with me on this? Applause come later. All right. Here's what I know. Every single one of you are winning. It just may not feel like it. All right. So keep making the plays, keep showing up, keep staying in the process of becoming, and I guarantee you that it will go well for you. All right. Does this help you guys today? All right. All right. Let's hear from a couple of you. What's something you wrote down before we jump off? Anybody? Anybody? You guys got good stuff over here in the comments.
Mine would just be to be authentic.
To be authentic.
Yeah. Like eliminating the acting.
Yeah. That's it, Keith. Hey, let me tell you something. I think our world is screaming for authenticity. All right. So go be authentically who you are. Show up that way inside the four walls of your home, outside the four walls of your home. I would
Right.
ask yourself today, who am I? Who am I? Maybe you're not being who you desire to be today. You can change that. Holmes, what do you got?
I would just say because there's delays, there's hurt times, be sure you have people in your life that you can lean on when you're hurting. Don't do that stuff on yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Come on. Come on. That's coming from a guy that I lean on right there. All right. Does this help you today? All right. Hey, please go tell anybody and everybody to come be a part of this call. The whole purpose of this call is to set your mind and your heart right before you even walk into this week. There's a lot ahead of you this week, and I want to make sure that you are the person that you choose to be that can overcome and become anything that you desire. All right. All right. Bless you guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you for being on. Take care. Bye bye.